Hey, welcome back to Lincoln's Cocktails. Tonight we're gonna make one of my all-time favorite classic cocktails. It's from New Orleans. I pretty much have to love it. It's the Sazerac. The Sazerac is a kind of a cocktail of legends, sometimes billed as the first cocktail, but there's no way that's true because there's other cocktails mentioned in publications before the publication of the Sazerac. Be that as it may, it's still a really delicious, absolutely tasty drink. A classic if you ever go to New Orleans. Every bar kind of has their own way of doing it. Every bartender does too, and even I have my own way of doing it. It's a little bit easier than the classic way, and so I lean into it. The Sazerac is really simple, and it's kind of like an old-fashioned type cocktail. You have sugar, bitters, and whiskey, but for this one you also use some absinthe or herbsaint in order to coat the glass. Tonight's drink we're gonna use Whistle Pig 10-year rye. It's 100 proof and I find it to be absolutely delicious in this drink. We're gonna use herbsaint for our anise kind of coating of the glass. You could use absinthe or Peychaud or something like that, but herbsaint's what they use all across New Orleans, and so I'm gonna stick with that. We have the classic Peychaud's bitters. Antoine Peychaud created this cocktail using his own bitters, so you definitely have to use those. And for our sweetener, instead of using a traditional Demerara sugar cube, I'm just gonna use some rich Demerara syrup because it mixes in the drink a little bit better, and honestly, it makes a more uniform cocktail. I'm pretty excited to make this because I've been waiting a long time to do so. I just wanted it to be right. I wanted to find my absolute favorite way to make this drink, and I think I have now, so I'm gonna show you guys. Now this is a stirred cocktail. We're gonna get our mixing glass, but traditionally you use 2 rocks glasses and kind of mix it in one, then pour it in the other. And I mean, it's great to have that tradition, but I don't know, I think it's easier to just build it in the mixing glass, so let's do that. Our first ingredient is 4 to 6 dashes of our Peychaud's bitters. You really want a lot in there. Next, like I said, for simplicity, just a bar spoon of our rich Demerara sugar. We're gonna go with 2 ounces of our rye. Add some ice. Give that a good stir. Now for this drink, the more or less bitters you put in there, it's gonna really change the color of the drink. Mine's got kind of like an orange thing. Sometimes it's red and I really don't get that because that's just too much. But we wanna chill this for about 25, 30 seconds. Get it nice and mixed down. Get our proper level of chill and dilution before we put it into our glass. Because this thing is getting served in a glass that makes it look really weird. Just in my opinion. Now we'll give our glass a nice coating of herbsaint. Easier to use that atomizer. Gets more uniform. We just pour straight in. We'll take a lemon peel, express it, wipe, and you can either keep it or discard it, and I'm gonna keep it. Boom. All right, let's go ahead and try our Sazerac. If you're wondering how my glass suddenly got frosted when you saw me pour it and it was not frosted, I didn't switch the glass. My entire building fire alarm just went off. And I'm several stories up, so I had to go, leave. But I'm back, no fire. Cheers. The Sazerac is never failing to deliver on a delicious taste. You get all those nice, refreshing lemon zest on the top, followed by that punchy rye flavor. And on the nose and the back of the flavor palette, you get that herbsaint, which is that rich anise flavor, which I personally really like. I think the Demerara syrup, again, works really well here because instead of having granulated sugar, which tends to pile at the bottom and give you, sweeter and sweeter as you go, it kind of makes it a more uniform drink and kind of enjoyable all the way through. Another great part, which I didn't mention earlier, which I am reminded, is it's not sitting on ice, it's just poured in here. So when I had to put it in the freezer just now to go evacuate my building, it stayed great. No extra dilution, nothing. Just as good as when I left it. Now originally the Sazerac was definitely made with cognac, we think, probably. But I make it with rye because I think with cognac, it's a little bit too sweet and a little bit too fruity. I know there's some 50-50, kind of a split-based mixture between the rye and the cognac, and that is pretty tasty. But honestly, straight rye is definitely the way to go. Maybe in the future, I'll do a video comparing all 3 types of Sazeracs, but honestly, I doubt it'll beat the rye. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. Cheers. Thankfully, there's no fire.